enjoyable. You can and will turn, God can and will turn you into a mighty man or woman of prayer. Just ask Him. Heavenly Father, there are many who are struggling with their prayer life today. Those desiring to come away with you and to talk with you. Oh Lord, grant them their desire. Build their prayer life. Fill it with power and glory. Teach them to pray. As they draw near to you, draw near to them. Increase their capacity for prayer and for your word. Strengthen them in the area of their weakness. Father, as they desire more of you, let them draw closer to you. Help them to be hunger and thirst for you and for your righteousness. May they seek you and get alone with you. Increase their capacity to know you more. Let the time be in your presence be enjoyable and pleasurable. Thank you, Father. We love you. Thank you for hearing and answering our prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. What's up, guy?
Oh, reasonably good these days. Not doing much in the garden, but
You're not doing much?
not really. Taking some time out. I'm doing some research and so. But I do, I make sure I do that every day, even though it's for an hour. I'll go to the, right by the house there. I'll go there and see, just look at your plants and watch them grow.
Am I correct that I saw some activity in the plot up past where they repair the washing machines and stuff?
Yeah.
You have some activity taking
Yeah, we
place?
got some. My brother went and he did some plowing,
Okay.
and he probably planted, I think, corn, sorrel, peas. Yeah, but I'm gonna continue soon because I'm into to do potato.
Let me ask you this. Did you really make money in the potatoes? No.
Why you said no?
Because I know you gave out most.
And I sold some, but when I calculated it, I probably could have break even.
You didn't even break even. Look at you. Did not even break even, soldier. That's not good.
No, I sold.
You sold too many.
I sold too many.
No, you did not sell enough. You gave away. You just gave it away.
It body potato, it bear. I mean, it potato did bear, and so I'm looking now to do. Well, I did peace law down by the river there, so I'm hoping to do get the land cleaned up. It's almost an acre, or like what you have remaining will be almost.
By the river? Where
no,
by the
the
river?
piece, the river piece is by before we take where I live. On the right hand side in getting back.
On the right hand side?
Yeah, to get up to me, in my top house. So I'm looking to get the land cleaned and plowed. The remaining or whatever remaining there, it might be able to cut off an acre, have it cleaned, plowed and everything, and then start planting. Strictly potato.
I'm trying to figure out where.
The piece where you spoke about. No. The piece. As I said, I did a little planting. I did piece by the river previously.
That's where you take out the soil?
Yeah.
There's 3/4 of an acre land there?
No.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
wondering
talking
how
about
that could be.
I talking about the piece. I said from there. I did piece there, but I'm gonna move. My main crop would be up there. I mean, the top piece where you saw by the that'll be my main.
Potato Valley? Okay. Potato Valley or Potato Hill.
Not there.
We've got drumsticks. Good morning, drummers.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Mr. Donald, good morning, sir.
Good morning, yes?
This is Nutsman. And to call me on my phone and to talk to you very, very urgent.
Well, I'm on air. I wouldn't be able to call you not until 9 o'clock.
Okay, because I want to talk to you, but I'm kind of busy right now.
Yeah, but I'll be till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, because I can't. Well, yeah, that don't matter.
Okay then, great. Bye-bye.
All right, bless you. Good.
Okay. I thought we had drumsticks online.
I thought so too. But yeah.
You thought so too, but yeah.
But the person that going to talk to you urgently. But they could wait till 9.
Watch, don't make
What?
don't make fun of my friends, yeah?
I'm not making fun. No.
Make fun of my
This is
friends
what
at all.
The man's made his speech. You tell him the situation, and he says, "Okay, could wait till 9." You know?
Well, there's somebody else now. Well, yeah. Okay. Well. Hold 1 second. I'm coming to you.
We used to ship plenty nectars all the way down to Trinidad during the revolution. We used to use up all the fruit that we had. When the cocoa, nutmeg and banana was at the highest level, now the youth them don't want to take over from the elders and continue. Oh gosh, why everybody want to sit down in computer and they forget agriculture? Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer.
Okay. Let's get it together. Where's drums? I find she kinda let us go, you know. We gotta get somebody else. See? You fine? Huh?
No.
Don't get anybody else? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, you have anybody in mind?
Yeah? You? Oh me oh my.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
You like my new hairstyle?
Well, if I were to tell you about it, you might have said, "Well, what happened? I'm admiring you." What? I see you gone ball.
Gone what?
Ball.
No. I ain't going nowhere.
Well, I see you take a rose breadfoot.
I wish I had a rose breadfruit right now. I'd be loving that.
You have a tree right close to you and make it even easier.
I picked one the other day because I was making some soup.
There's a rod below the house. Did you see?
I know.
How you know?
The land is mine now. I watch money.
Well, I said there's a rod below your house. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you said your land is here.
The land, so I have to know everything that's taking place.
Yeah, there's a rod.
I know who step in and step out, you know. I have cameras there.
Okay.
Yeah, when Uncle go there, doesn't know it. Got cameras.
What's the last thing you did?
When you went there?
When last you were there? What's the last thing that happened there with you?
I just check the camera and I go home. Morning, Drums.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Right, tell me.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Nabila. Good morning to the nation. Good morning to JD. A reading from the Word of God, Psalm 37, verse 11. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked party that against, just as they garnish upon him with his teeth, the Lord shall laugh at him. For the seeth that this day is coming. The wicked have thrown all the sword and have bent their bows to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of uprightness. Mercy. This is the end of the scripture.
Thank you, my dear. And how are you this morning?
I'm great.
You're late. What's wrong?
Maybe I went outside and then I can't tell you what he was reading. Yes.
Okay. I hear you, girl. I hear you. The children okay?
Yes, for the time.
All right. Well,
Right.
take care. Have a good day.
You have a nice day.
All right.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfecting cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's go, let's show that we belong. Show the world that we belong.
Grenada on the road to Gold Cup 2021. Stay in the know by following us on all our social media platforms. Grenada Football Association on Facebook, GFA Grenada on Twitter, and at Grenada FA on Instagram. Matches begin 13th July and continue on July 17th and 20th. We belong.
Green's Concept introduces the latest innovation in air conditioning technology in Grenada, providing the most energy efficient, environmentally friendly air conditioning units in Grenada. Using a natural refrigerant, all air conditioning unit systems are up to 40% more energy efficient than the current units used in the Grenadian market. Powerful cooling while using less electricity and very inexpensive. That means more money in your pocket. We offer free delivery to all locations of installation and installed by top quality trained professional engineers with over 20 years experience in the business. Contact Green's Concept 417-5460 or 442-1663. Email greensconcept@gmail.com. At Green's Concept, we cool you and the planet.
Green's Concepts announces special prices on 18,000 and 24,000 BTU units. You have been saving on power, now save on prices. Call us today.
Hey, I am Corporal 85 Grant, attached to CRD Eastern Division, reminding you that incest and all other sexual violence is a crime.
I'm saying make them take advantage of you.
Spot On, a new program with new perspectives every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on the Realest of the Real, Real 91.9 and 91.5 FM. Real talk, real people, real issues in real time. With your host, Sheldon Scott.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number one. Why you disown agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians. Like they want to structure the plan. Well, from here to the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man, Jack and didn't do too bad. After that, you know the whole thing flop. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer. And they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer.
22 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. Stick that time, friends. Well, no, don't stick it like you can keep the time there. Just make sure you've got the time correct. Because it's time for us to join the folks at the Met Office. Eugene Wint is there. Good morning, Eugene.
Good morning to you, Andre, and good morning to listeners also. It's weather for today, Thursday, the 8th of July. Currently at Port Saline, you're expecting fair, breezy and hazy conditions. Winds from the east at 25 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 1014.1 millibars, which is above normal and rising. The present temperature is 27.8 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. The relative humidity is 77%. Yesterday's maximum temperature recorded was 31.1 degrees Celsius or 87.9 degrees Fahrenheit. And the minimum temperature last night was 27.2 degrees Celsius or 80.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Over the past 24 hours, there was a trace of rainfall recorded at Point Saline. Hence, July's total remains at 120 millimeters. Well, let's go to the public forecast data for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, Peter Martinique. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy, windy and hazy, with few light showers. The maximum temperature is expected to have 31 degrees Celsius, with winds coming from the east-northeast, east-southeast at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting high at times. Seas are expected to be moderate, slightly rough, with waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters, and therefore a small craft advisory remains in effect. Tides are currently falling to low at 9 o'clock this morning. They rise to the high at 20 minutes to 4 this afternoon. Sunset this evening is at 23 minutes to 7, and sunrise tomorrow morning is at 11 minutes to 6. Just to recap, as the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy, windy and hazy, with few light showers. From the Met Services at Admiral Bishop International Airport, this is Eugene.
Thank you, Eugene. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, same day, man.
Good. 23 minutes and 55 seconds after the 7 o'clock hour.
You had breakfast this morning?
Yeah.
What it contains?
Well, I went down to the terminal and I got bakes and saltfish, roast bakes, saltfish, pretty good. And I got oats and a cup of coffee.
That's all?
No, I'm telling you.
And when you say, well, you know,
And
and
a fruit bowl with banana, mango, and pineapple.
Pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little quiz for you. Which fruit is known as the queen of the tropical fruits? It carries a crown on its head, it stands tall, and be sweet on the inside.
Well, one could say pineapple, or pineapple doesn't stand tall, so I don't know.
But yeah, the fruit stand up, the fruit doesn't go down on the ground.
But it doesn't stand tall.
Yeah, it stand up.
But yeah, well, you say stand tall.
Well, yes, the
Tall
fruit,
and up is two different things, brethren.
the fruit does not.
Brethren, tall, stand tall and stand up, two different things.
And do you know that green stem that holds the pineapple is where the sugar is stored, huh?
The middle thing?
Yeah, that green, that hold that, you know, and it's, first as the pineapple getting ripe, it releases the sugar.
Okay.
Yeah. But something I need to talk about pineapple. Have you ever, when you eat pineapple, have you get any...
I just ate pineapple.
Discomfort or so in your mouth? Yeah,
discomfort?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why?
It is said that, well, I experience it and other people do experience it, that when you eat pineapple, after a while your mouth becomes a little discomfort, well, you know, because, so I think it was last week, I was eating a pine and then I felt it. So I stopped for a while and then I was speaking to a lady and she says, you know something? And I was telling her, look what happened. She said, yeah, you know, I was eating this pine, she and her daughter, one of her daughters, and they felt the discomfort and what come in their head immediately, that the pine was poison. I said, no, it's not poison. But the reason why you get that discomfort, because pine main enzyme is called bromelain. And bromelain is what helps to digest protein. So when you cannot get protein, it starts acting on your inside, like your gum and so inside of your mouth, you start to react on that. because it breaks down one of the main enzymes for breaking down protein. So when you cannot get the protein, then you feel that it acting on your body. 'Cause our body is protein. Remember that our body is made up of protein.
No, my boy, pro-fat.
Pro-fat.
Not no protein.
All right.
Pro-fat.
Pro-fat. Okay.
Yeah.
So immediately when it cannot get the protein that it needs to digest, to break down, it start acting on our body. And then
never really felt that. Never really.
Yeah, I felt it more than once, and I go there and go, why am I feeling that way? And then, so it was advised that when you eat if you could, when you eat pineapple, you use yogurt with it, so you don't get that feeling. But I don't think if you drink the juice, I don't think it affects you. But when you eat it like just as is, that's what happens. So pineapple is a great source of healthy carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
It improves the immunity. It lowers risk of cancer. It helps heals wounds, improves gut health, strengthens bones, improves eye health, promotes tissue and cellular health of skin. It alleviates common cold. It strengthens the gums. Bromelain enzymes is the main ingredients in pineapple. The juice helps relieve sore throat. It aids in digestion, pain, and inflammation. It helps with kidney health, anti-aging, risk of blood clot, helps also in acne, good for your hair, and clears sinus and block arteries. Be aware of eating pineapples, because as I said before, you're getting that tingling sensation in the mouth, all because of it acts on protein. So it will be advised that, and it's very good it helps in the indigestion, so as we said before, it's very good to eat with a protein product, especially yogurt. So anybody who does eat it and they had that discomfort, that's the cause of it. Yeah.
So you come gear up for me this morning because you must know I'm getting pineapple.
Yeah, I'm a seer, you know.
He's over, man.
Yeah.
I see.
You see.
Obia. Obia is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, because Obia is a religion, yeah?
It's a religion, part of a religious concept.
Just that people use religion. See, let me not even talk about religion this morning, yeah, because next thing people gonna start to do something hate me. Yeah, because people gonna start to hate me and stuff like that, and I really can't take this hate thing this morning. Erica Batiste, good morning to you, and good morning to you, Pat. How you doing? Thank you so very much. And Errol Bonaparte, what's up, bro? Everything going well? Well, JD, he wants to know if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Good.
I'm okay.
Well, I'm showing them you're the one they're seeing right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. They're tired of seeing me, man.
I'm fine.
Let the camera stay focused on you.
I am fine. I'm not, hoping that one day I'll be famous.
But you won't be more famous than how you are already?
Yeah, like famous Amos.
Where he dead. He dead.
No, there's a biscuit called Amos, and there's a script, there's a little ad, famous Amos.
Famous Amos?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, there's a biscuit, actually, yeah.
Good morning, Pearline. How you doing? Barthy Atlanta wants to know something. Good morning, gents. Can you tell me, how can I tell the difference between Tanya, Dashin, and Kalalu?
Tanya, Dashin,
and Kalalu.
And Kalalu.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the leaves, the Dashin and the Tanya, the Dashin and the different. The color, one is a lighter green, one is a heavier green. The Kalalu is the same Dashin, right? Kalalu is the same Dashin. So it's like even with some of the bananas, you have to know, by the leaves you know which is which.
You ain't explain nothing to the man there yet. You tell the man when.
I tell the man, okay. Well,
Alright, but here's what.
You have to come.
Dashing and Callaloo, same. Alright?
Dashing is the fruit, is the vegetable, and what bears at the top of the dashing is called it Callaloo.
However, the Tanya leaves are not as green. So you'll say that they're white. When you look at them, the Tanya leaves is definitely whiter than that of the Callaloo. How do I know? My grandfather taught me.
And the leaves, there's the size of the leaves. Somebody gets some big dashing leaves sometimes, but the Tanya has a very big, especially the marble, the leaves are much bigger.
If you live in Montreal, good morning. Good morning to you, Jameline. How you doing? Here's hoping that you are having a wonderful day. All right? Take care of yourself. But let me see. Bato is typing again. So let's try to stick with him for a minute to see
what he says.
If it's going to be something around that. But definitely, the Tanya leaves are whiter than that of the if you got it. Yeah,
lighter green. Yeah,
lighter green.
Lighter green.
Than the Callaloo.
More of like a lime green like.
But let me let you know. Don't tell your wife. But the Tanya leaves, they work better than the Callaloo leaves. Yeah. My grandfather said to me one time when my grandmother sent me down to the garden to meet him to get that. So to get some Callaloo. When he checked, he didn't have. So he cut some Tanya leaves. So I said, Daddy, he said, watch, don't tell your grandmother what I cut. Because if you tell her what I cut, you don't have no Tanya leaf down here again. Because it's different. And it was different. It tastes different anyway.
But they're all good. The greens, they're all good to consumption. As a matter of fact, mostly all the vegetables that bear underground, the leaves are good for eating.
Really?
Yeah. There's another one called tayo. Tayo is a very big leaf one. That one goes more in the mountain. And there's another one. People hardly eat the vegetable. You can't even peel it. It's long. It grows thin and long.
There's a one called shukako. Do you know that?
That's the same tayo, I think.
That is tayo?
Tayo. We call it tayo. I call it tayo.
But does it have is there a vegetable down there?
Yeah, a masterpiece. But I don't think people eat it. They do, but mainly for pigs. Animals, and it's massive. If you get a massive.
But the leaves are massive too.
One leaf, and then if rain falling, you don't have to buy an umbrella.
No, for real.
For real.
Yeah.
That's an umbrella,
But the thing is, JD, when you use that in oil dung saya, that is the best thing,
And you look for the one that. The leaves that it hasn't come out yet.
Yes, that is still curling.
Curly, right. And you chip it up. Excellent.
But you have to be very careful with shukako because shukako releases a lot of water. So if you don't know it and how to handle it, you could spoil your oil dung.
Even Callaloo does.
Yeah, but Callaloo not as much as shukako. Shukako releases tons and tons of water.
Because it grows in
swamps.
In swamps. So then it's absorbed a lot of water, But if you go and put that in and you put too much of water, sorry for you, you're making soup. You're making a soup. But there's another one I said with the fruit, the vegetables are long, you can hardly peel, long and thin and long. And it's very good for eating, very, very nutritious. All those greens, they're very nutritious. Is it finished type? If you want your battery, I am. Come on, and I'll show you to you. I like to do
demonstration.
Okay. Yeah, come, you'll see, man.
We're going to have a guest this morning. He should be here shortly. We had a conversation with him about 2 weeks ago. Was it?
Yeah.
And I don't think we were finished. We still needed to know a lot more about livestock in Grenada. And one of the things I want to find out really and truly is that what what is our stock in terms of livestock in Grenada? How is it? Because I people don't realize goats. I think goats seem to be getting scarce. People have sheep, and they're not taking care of them as they should.
They have no shepherd. The sheep have no shepherd.
They, as far as they're concerned, they take it and they tie it in a pasture, in an open space, and they leave it there.
Anyway, they could get
They just hang it and leave it there. And then you see, the sheep with all sort of feces on the tail and all sort of things like that. You know something is wrong with the animal. And I do believe also that we seem to have a shortage of cattle. People, as they say, people not mining cattle as before, correct?
You're wrong. Well, a lot used to come from St. Vincent. I don't know for now what's happening now, but I know in the past, sometimes the whole boatload will come down from St. Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah. And now with St. Vincent and the problems, I think, well, more or less.
Problem with what?
No, well, with the volcano.
They ain't no problem.
Yeah, but to get feed, and then they have
it rained.
The last weather that passed.
That was good. That was good for them. That was to wash off the ash.
So I guess
all ganja free now. No ash on ganja leaves again.
I guess more or less they'll probably be looking to get rid of quite a lot. There are a lot of people, especially in the Grenville area, who will go up there, hire a boat, and come down with a boatload of
cattle.
Cattle, yeah.
Yeah, but we can't continue like that. When we have the same grass, we have open spaces. The only thing we don't have committed farmers, and then we have some thieves, who sell to butchers, and these butchers are so unscrupulous. It's not funny. They buy your animal and they hide in it. And they'll hide the animal for like 6 months, you forget it, and then they take it and they slaughter it. That is so not good, so not nice. These thieves selling straight to the butchers.
Yeah, and then at what price?
At what price? That's the next thing.
At what price?
I've heard tale that there are butchers right here in our beautiful island, J. There are butchers who pay people to go and steal animals.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I've heard that.
I wouldn't doubt that.
They pay people to go and steal animals.
When I was in Grenville, I had a neighbor who likes mutton. So tell me go down there and get some mutton for him. And so I did. And when I go, I saw there was 2 sheep they killed there. But there was nobody buried. I said, oh, strange. The sheep just hanging there. No cellar, nobody there. I looked around. And that to me, he alone, it looks, by the color of the flesh, it's probably pretty young. Only to be told that they were stolen animals. So when the father and son, when they miss the animal, something tell them, go down to the midstall. And in getting there, they saw the sheep's skin on the ground. And the son was able to identify as his sheep.
Wow.
Yeah, so and then the police, I think the police went with the guy, so the butcher, matter of fact.
All right, friends, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Real 91.5, 91.9, www.realfmgrenada.com.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Niels Chaitan, International Social Skill Consultant, and I'm here to let the public know that every child has a right to say no to sexual violence.
And me say no make them take advantage of you.
When you think of Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, what comes to mind? A reliable financial institution that has stood the test of time. Maybe you think about the convenience and quality financial service they provide. Do you think about their readiness to help you retire, achieve your academic goals, build your dream home, buy the piece of land, or the elegant car?
or maybe the convenience of their different locations, Jubilee Street in Grenville or the new outlet on Lucas Street in St. George's in the Derek Sylvester building. Maybe you always consider how they're always a phone call away. 442-8602 or 438-4228. They're also online, www.grenvillecreditunion.com. No matter what comes to mind, remember, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is the best place to save and to borrow, working with you to make your brighter tomorrow.
There comes a time in every household when a loved one passes on, and we all need the support and guidance of a trusted friend. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home has been your dedicated friend. And now, for your convenience and added financial ease, we introduce specially designed complete funeral packages from as low as $5,500. Same professional quality services, but now greater choices at the lowest possible prices. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Conditions apply. Serving you from locations in St. George's, Grenville, and Carriacou. Call us at 440-2302 any time of day. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home, continuing a tradition of excellence.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
Spot On, a new program with new perspectives every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on the Realest of the Real, Real 91.9 and 91.5 FM. Real talk, real people, real issues in real time. With your host, Sheldon Scott.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, that's the number one. Oh yes.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Carriacou. Good morning, friends in the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Petey Martinique, I cannot forget you, all you gracious people who live in the island, well, the smaller islands than, like, as if we're really big. We're not really big, you know. We only, 120 something? JD, was it 120? Huh? 120?
2023.
No, it can't be 20. Kid Mitchell had piece down there, you're crazy. That piece that we had by the bus terminal, that thing, you're mad out, you're crazy. Don't get twisted, you know. We can never be 120 or 123 again. Man had a whole broadside, you know.
Yeah.
Up to you. Crazy or what? I have a call. Let me take the call and then we go to our guest. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And good morning to the BMD. Well, if we add a piece, that means we have to change the shape of the map also.
Well, so you don't know that then?
Right. I think it's 133, including Carriacou or something. So
No, it can't be. It increased. Kid Michelle had a whole broadside.
Officially, that is not yet.
What?
No, we don't have that in data.
How you know that? You ever look for that? You know, first time you hearing that?
No, not first time hearing that. I know that, but we have not seen it in record. Yeah, you were speaking a little bit about cows, and well, you correct what it's supposed to be cattle because cow is.
I didn't say cow at all, my brethren. I said cattle.
Okay,
I never said cow.
I hear you.
Cow is the female.
Okay.
Are you trying to make? Do you feel like stupid?
No. But I remember when we had cattle in Douglaston, you had something like about 10 or 12 or more at any one time. You had one person actually feeding these animals and moving them. And you had what you call, when you cutlass, you would have about 12, 14 persons cutting toss there. And they will gather up that grass and pull the animals. And every year, for over 20 years, we were able to kill 2 animals, 2 cattle, and sell to the workers at the end of Christmas. Before Christmas.
You sell into the workers? But you wicked Clifford boy?
Yeah, it was sold to the workers.
Whoa! All you can just do is and say, okay, fine,
Well,
workers
I had
died.
to buy too. I had to buy. Everybody
God.
had to buy. The only person that was getting free, you know.
Now I know why Douglaston is not Douglaston today.
So, and I see that it was a good revenue on it, you know. But I heard they talk about bringing back animals from St. Vincent and whatnot, and I think they should really include that because you still have a lot of land, idle places. We have pastures. We used to have areas where you could let go the cows in pastures, and you block up an area, and then when the grass go over there, you move back again and whatnot. So there should be something in the livestock industry looking forward to. Because this importing from St. Vincent is, as you say, is a very costly thing. Very, very costly. So I think all that should be taken into consideration, the livestock. So because you have, Douglaston was the same amount of land, you have over 600 acres of land. So there are areas where that you could go into cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and a lot of other persons. I think it's time for us to make use of the idle lands into production.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Good.
I got a guess for you, so listen up. You might have a couple of comments.
I will hope so.
Okay, good. Bye-bye. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. The name, Andre Donald, of course, and I'm here with you for yet another morning. And as I did say, we have a guest. Well, JD's here. JD's a co-host, not a guest. And our guest this morning is Mr. Nugent Bernard, returning from 2 weeks ago. And it's interesting that Clifford made all the remarks about livestock. And Mr. Bernard is the livestock officer here in Greens, as we like to say. And perchance, you're the only livestock officer on island, Mr. at the moment? Okay. Do we have others in training or something?
We have 2 assistants with a semi-gravitated to doing veterinary medicine.
That is something that we did not cipher out last time you were here. What's the difference?
Okay, good morning.
Yeah, no.
It's a pleasure to be here again. As I stated last time I was here, there is a profound difference between veterinary medicine and animal production. Veterinary medicine primarily deals with cure of animal. It's like a patient is sick and you take him or her to the doctor. And it is expected that the doctor would examine that patient, find out what are the symptoms of that illness, sickness if you will, and then based on his training and the different symptoms that would have been exhibited,
Mhm.
then he makes a diagnosis, right?
Okay.
So it's primarily about treatment. Livestock production, on the other hand,
Mhm.
has to do with everything about production. So it takes in care and management of animals.
Mhm.
So irrespective of what species of animal that you're dealing with, whether it's cattle or sheep and goat, or small ruminant as we call it, whether it's rabbit, whether it's poultry, right, layers or broilers,
Mhm.
right, whether it's buffaloes or deer, okay, and so everything about the care and management of this takes in production issues. Then we have the whole aspect of feeding, feeds and feeding. That's two different things, right? And then you have also the component of course, your health, what we call the animal herd health management. So of course, again, the farmer or the caretaker of this animal will have to ensure that these animals are in optimum health, and it takes in a whole aspect of having what we call a health regime that will speak to when you deworm this animal, examine it to make sure if it needs vitamins, and you look at the body conformation score and see if it is too thin or if it's not, too fat, right? And of course, record keeping is also aspect of it. So everything about production, breeding, of course, right? What is the genetic makeup of this animal? How much is this animal capable of producing based on the genetics of the animal? So all this encompasses livestock production, right? And that is what makes the fundamental difference. The vet will take care of the animals primarily because they are sick. The livestock production is if he manages well and keeps this animal in optimum health, then he has very little or no use for the vet. It's like a human body, a human being. You keep your body in optimum health.
Yeah.
You have a very good immune system. It doesn't mean to say that something wouldn't happen, right? But in the eventuality that something happens, then the vet comes in to take care of that situation.
And you are the only livestock officer at the moment. Okay. Did somebody say that they're not hearing they're not hearing you? That doesn't make any sense at all. Could someone please respond on social media? I don't know. I'll have to check my engineer to find out. But from all indications here is that I know you've been heard on terrestrial radio because somebody said that they like the language you're speaking in relation to that. Okay, let's see what gives. But I believe that I believe that persons should be hearing you. I see absolutely no reason here to give. Are we good on social media with the audio? Yeah. You did check? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, no, I got a message saying that they weren't hearing him, so I was just making sure. Okay. Well, please do. Anyway, so back to you, Brother Nugent. Since you were here last, and JD and I started to have the conversation this morning. Since you were here last, I started asking questions about livestock in Grenada. And I've come to the realization that we have a problem in terms of quantity. Is that correct? And explain it to us then.
Yeah, just to make a brief perspective as to the livestock situation in Grenada. And I'm taking statistics from the last census that was conducted in 2012. Figures will show that we had then a population of 1,973 heads of cattle. Mm-hmm. Right? And as we
Hold on, stop there. Figures showed we had what?
1,973
heads of cattle in Grenada?
Yes, no, this is the official figure, so we have to go by what the figure said then, right? Now, as I was saying, as we have this, the color earlier on alluded to cattle, right?
Mhm.
This is a mistake. There's not about the correct term is cattle.
Cattle.
So whether it's more than one, it's still cattle, right? Then sheep. In terms of sheep, we had then over 10,000 heads of sheep in Grenada, just over 12,000 heads of goat, pigs 4,638. Chicken, the population then was 77,388, and from this, the number of sheep and goat farmers in Grenada bordered something about 6,000, right? And for the Poultry Association, the figure then was 1,000 registered poultry farmers and 200 unregistered farmers. Now, one would appreciate that these figures may or may not have changed, either up or down, over the last couple of years. But we don't know, so all we could do now is to guesstimate. And part of our fundamental problem is that we don't do enough research. We don't keep enough records. In fact, our national census should be much more frequent than we have it presently. And then secondly, there should be a database, right, that takes into account what our animal population is. And if it's on a monthly or quarterly basis, this should be updated. So at any given time, we are aware as to what exactly is the animal population in Grenada. And this is important because to make informed decisions, you must have facts and figures.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of the real figures, all we'll be doing is just guesstimate. So this basically is what the livestock population look like in Grenada.
Is that good or bad?
It is bad, and I'm saying it is bad from the standpoint that Grenada, as among the rest of the Eastern Caribbean and small developing states, we have what we call the comparative advantage, as against the developed country having the competitive advantage. And the difference is the comparative advantage is we have so much forages that are around us. Just think about it. Almost everything that is green around us can be used as animal feed. And then we have the number of animals to match it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we need to do is to have what I would term as focused production initiatives. Unlike the bigger countries, they have more intensive systems, right? And because they have the monies, they can invest as much as they want. And they do that mainly in highly intensive commercialized system in a conventional manner, right? So if we were to really sit down and have a conversation, look at what our national population is, driven by some policy, we would know what our baseline is. So we must know what our baseline is. We must know what is our national consumption,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. And say, look, if we have a population of 1,900 plus cattle, and people consume plenty beef based on the trend that we're seeing, then we could say, look, we want to increase our cattle population by 20%, right? It is to work out what 20% of 1,900 is.
Mm-hmm.
So then you know, look, this is the way that we're going, and you have all the measures in place
Mm-hmm.
to achieve that 20%.
Okay.
But as it is now, all we basically do, and sometimes it really pains me to say this, all we basically do now is just guesstimate. So we just wake up this morning and say, look, we want to increase pig production by 10%. But how much is 10%? When we do not know what our baseline is. when we do not have the correct information as to what our weekly or monthly or yearly consumption is and what the production is. So if we go measure what our local production is as to guess what the consumption is, then we must see the gap, right? And that is where it comes in when we look at how high our importation bill is, because Grenada is really a good potential market for livestock production.
What would you say would have caused the drop in the population of cattle or livestock in general in Grenada? And I know there's been definitely an increase in poultry. There's been increase in numbers there. So let's look at sheep, goats, cattle. And because there has been an increase in pigs, we know that because a lot more people doing pigs over the years. But these three, there seems to be a definite decline in the population. What's going on here?
So, let me put it this way. While I would not contend with your statement concerning increasing pigs and poultry,
You think it's dropped?
I really don't know, because we do not have figures to show whether there is a perceived increase based on what we believe might be increased activity in those two areas, right? What I can tell you though is that the trend is showing that there is an increase, and that is international, yeah? There is an increase in what they term as white meat consumption. Okay? So you find globally, you would have pigs and poultry on the rise. Most of poultry, simply because poultry as an animal source of protein has what we call no religious boundaries. Almost every denomination or cult or group or it is consume poultry, unlike pork, right? Seminary is doing pork.
You.
And then you have Muslims, and there are some other persons who are not Seminarists or Muslims,
but they just don't touch pork. Yeah.
But coming back to your question, there are a number of factors. Let's take, for example, Carriacou. Carriacou, and this is where I think we need to focus on pin down. Carriacou, for the last maybe 3-4 decades, has been the source of providing not just live animals to Grenada, but I don't know if you remember, there was a very active trade with sheep and goat from Carriacou going to Trinidad, live animals, right? Now this has changed. Although Carriacou still has the potential, based on the number of animals that they have, I don't know what the exact figure, but from a live visit to Carriacou, I can tell you, Carriacou still has a lot of sheep, right?
And goats, yeah.
Yes, and goats, but more sheep than goats.
Yeah.
And what has happened is that we have had a situation where agricultural lands gave way to construction of houses, and that happened when people who were in the diaspora, who went away, particularly in England, coming back, home, they would build houses. Now, once you start building houses, then you start displacing lands that were once used for livestock production. Then secondly, we have an aging population, which is not willingly replaced by the young generation. So you have most of the people who were into it because they love it, and now that they're moving out, their children are no longer interested in that. All right? And then too, I believe, and that's my personal opinion based on my training, there is this saying that who feeds you controls you.
Correct.
Right? So that the system that we operate in under, being a small developing state, they treat us as a small developing state, right? And the outside rich countries who has all the means and the factors of production will prefer to produce and sell to us because we are willing to buy. And even if they give us all kind of assistance, My problem has always been they do not give us the real hard, the hard means, they wear it all. So they will give us training, they will send consultants, right? But when it comes for actually putting down a physical structure, infrastructure, industries that will give us the means to produce and to supply our locals, and of course the potential for regional and international markets. They do not give us that very well, right? So it's a number of factors, and this has really, in my opinion, been concretized by the fact that because Grenada and the rest of the region, the small developing state, we do not have strong policies, especially for livestock production, agricultural production. I think we have really been taking advantage of.
So you mean the bigger countries have taken advantage of us?
Yes, of course, definitely.
There was a couple of years ago, a friend of mine's, a guy by the name of Joe Bartholomew. Good morning, Joe. And of course, I know this is a testing time for you, but you'll be okay. Joe indicated to me that there was an area somewhere, I think in St. David's. Is there an area in St. David's where government has livestock?
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes, of course.
Joe indicated to me that there was a gentleman taking care of the livestock. He also said to me that some of the goats look like boat goats, that they weren't being taken care of properly. Are you aware?
Andre,
can you comment on that, please?
No,
you can't.
Yeah, you're putting me in a real...
Well, that's what I heard.
But what I can tell you, is that, when this project was first conceptualized in 2009, the intention then was for us to operate what we call a breeding center, right? So, counter-funded, I think, with World Bank, the government of Grenada, we would have stopped to construct, I think it was about $1.9 million that structure actually cost. And we...
1.9 million, what cost that?
The infrastructure. Because it is hurricane proof to withstand category 4 hurricane, right?
For goats?
Yes, and then, but no, see, it's not just for goats, because that is one of the issues we have when it comes to livestock production. People are not...
You'll have to back away a bit from the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, good, right.
People are not willing to provide proper housing for the animals, right? So the quantum really is not the issue, but is the ideal structure, right, for good production. I think where we err was that, again, it comes to policy. If it is that we were investing that kind of sum in a project that is very important for genetic stock, and that is what it really was for. So that the intention was, if you, as a goat farmer, is interested in getting into goat production, Lara should have been that center where you can come to purchase good genetic stock. All right? But again, we must be willing to match our natural resources with what we have. And part of the problem is that we need to increase the genetics of the animals that we have in Grenada, right? In order for us to get the kind of maximum production that we really need. So some way, somehow, we would not have stick to what I would consider the plan. And I hope I'm not getting into trouble because, as an employer of the government of Grenada, but in the same thing that was incriminated. But I think we still have time. And if we were to sit down and properly think about it, conceptualize what the intentions are and what are the objectives of this project, knowing that it is critically needed now more than ever in the light of COVID, I think we still have time for us to make some corrections to that situation.
I am not very happy with what you just told me. I know I don't want you to make any comment on it because I don't want to put you in any precarious sort of a position. It's just that I'm not very happy, and I would love for, and I will speak to someone else pretty soon within the ambit of the Ministry for Agriculture, and someone will have to tell us what is happening is it Lara, you said?
Yeah, Lara.
That's where it is. Because are there still any animals there?
Yes, at the moment we have about 45 animals.
45. Are you in a position to sell to people at this time?
No.
No, you're not. Do you think anytime soon that you'll be in a position to sell to people?
No. Since I'm not in a position to make that decision, I don't think so.
Okay. Has the production of the animals continued at a satisfactory rate?
From my perspective, no.
What do you think we can do so as to improve the production of the animals? Because it's our money.
Okay, so I think what is needed, first of all, I always believe in doing a SWOT analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So since we have started since 2009, I think we need to sit down and do a SWOT analysis. Let us see what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities and the threat for that particular project in the light of increased small ruminant production in Grenada. But I know definitely, one of the weaknesses that we have is the quality of animals,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if you're having a breeding center, then it means that your animal must be the best.
Yeah.
The best. So that what you produce, farmers could feel safe and proud to come and, purchase from you to continue in that way. So that definitely needs a boost in terms of the genetics.
Do you believe that our Minister for Agriculture, being that he's not in the job, is he there a year yet? No, I don't think he's there a year yet. Minister David, is he? Can you help me there, JD?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think he's there. But do you believe that our Minister for Agriculture is in the proper position in relation to this so that he can assist those who need the assistance to make this thing work? Because this sounds like a brilliant thing.
Definitely, I think he's. When it was announced
Mm-hmm.
that Honorable Peter David was coming to the Ministry of Agriculture, I personally, as an individual, saw it as a really great boost,
Mhm.
opportunity, knowing his enthusiasm and his international connections
Mhm.
and whatnot. I saw it as a real boost and an opportunity for us to make serious change.
Okay. Do you believe we need to get new stock from outside, or do we have the stock available at Lara, and what we need is just more commitment to the job at Lara?
Okay. Yes and no. There are a few good animals around that we would need to search out,
Mhm.
right? But if we are looking to use local animals to improve breed,
Mhm.
then we must do that bringing in, right, good genetic stuff. And there is a reason for this. Now, I would not advise the ministry to just go and purchase a whole set of goats from anywhere. You heard the guy was talking earlier on about the St. Vincent animals coming.
Mhm.
I have serious issues with that because there are so much implications in terms of that if it's not done correctly, right? Because remember, Grenada enjoys what we call a relatively good health status when it comes for diseases and animals, right? Just to know, in Grenada, the only real disease we have for small ruminants, sheep and goat, is the external parasite.
Mhm.
Sometimes a little mites,
Mhm.
sometimes you see the scaling or anything, well, that is caused by mites. And internally, we have worms. All things like foot and mouth disease and brucellosis and all that kind of things.
We don't have
Grenada
that.
don't have that. So that when you're thinking of importing live animals, it must be coming from a country that has similar health status with us. And that is where the whole quarantine issue comes in. So if I want to bring in animals from St. Vincent, I must know what is the disease status of St. Vincent.
Mhm.
And if St. Vincent has disease or diseases that we don't have in Grenada, right, then it has to be a no-no. Because you don't want to introduce any novel disease.
Correct.
Because sometimes just one disease, like foot and mouth, brucellosis, right? This thing could almost sweep your entire population, right? Because it can spread so fast, so many numbers, so highly contagious. So we have to be careful.
Do we have a situation where, okay, Andre wants to bring in, I decide I'm going to invest in the meat production in Grenada. So I can't find cows or cattle, sorry. I can't find cattle. I can't find enough sheep, goat. My best option is one of the islands. Could be Trinidad, could be Barbados, could be St. Vincent. I pick whichever one. Do I have to get a license?
Yes, you need to. And
I need to, but do I have to?
yes, you have to.
Okay. Is there somebody, according to my good friend Depo, good morning, is there somebody guarding the guards on this one? Meaning, is there somebody who is going to be at the port? Let us suppose I choose St. Vincent and I bring the animals down on a boat. I take a boat from here, I go up, load up, and I bring the animals down. Is there someone who is, by the time I enter the Grenadian waters, who's going to say, hey, I need to see a license?
Yes, it's supposed to.
It's supposed to.
But let me say this. It's not just you want to bring in animals from St. Vincent. Now, if you have intention of bringing animals from St. Vincent from any other country, you would come to us at the ministry and say,
I should.
Yes, you should come to us.
Right.
I want to bring in some animals from that particular country. Now, we have a list of countries that we call, that are on the prohibited list. Okay? So we don't take...
Oh, we do?
Yeah, so we don't take animals, for example, Central America. All right? Because Central America is highly infested with things like foot and mouth disease and well, almost any kind. We'll be very particular about taking animals from that particular country.
Live or carcasses?
Live, and in some cases carcasses, because in some cases even the carcasses carry certain disease, right? So we have to be careful so that whichever country you identify would be on the list, right? And that is for the reason why, let's take for example poultry. We only allow day old chickens from Barbados, right?
Nowhere else?
No. Well, Barbados and the US.
Okay.
And it's because most times they come from the US to Barbados.
Into Barbados.
All right? But when you come for things like pork and stuff, there are some, I think for pork we had a prohibit from the UK, right? And it's because there are certain diseases, sometimes even in the meat, right, that are present and that we have to be mindful of protecting our population. Not just protecting our population. Pork, for example, carries a disease they call muscle worm, right? Muscle worm. Now, if pork meat is infested, the carcass is infested with muscle worm, and you consume that without knowing that, this disease can last in your system over 10 years.
But it will die by the time I cook it. By the time I cook it, it will die.
Not easily. Not easily.
The amount of fire we just give food here, man, that dead one time.
So, no, but the point is, people must be aware that there is a system operating, and the first step in that system is to come to us at the ministry and say, look, I want to bring in, whether it's cat or dog or whatever it is from there. We would first tell that person, look, you need to get a health certificate from the country of origin. So this health certificate is supposed to be signed by what we call the competent authority, right? So that in America, it will only be signed by an official of USDA. All right? And knowing how things go these days, you don't want anybody signing a certificate and giving authorization, right? When the reality is there may be some underlying factor behind it. So it has to be from the competent authority. So you get a certificate, you bring it to us, or you mail it to us via email or whatever it is. And once we get that this animal medically is clear, right, then we give you the permission to bring in that animal. Now, on arrival of that animal, you're supposed to present that permit and the health certificate so that the officer on duty will be able to examine to make sure that everything is okay.
Does that animal go into quarantine?
No.
Why?
Because this is one area, again, I think not just Grenada, but my experience, the rest of the Caribbean, except for a few countries, maybe Jamaica. Jamaica is very serious when it comes to those things. But most of the Caribbean countries do not have quarantine facilities at port of entries. So that sometimes we have to buy the bullet because, again, in some countries, the law protects what is called...
You're not biting the bullet, you're shooting me. If you're going to let an animal come in, right? Look at it at this particular point in time. Persons entering the country must have PCR test and whatever to enter. They must have a travel certificate to enter the country. When they get here, then they are quarantined. Based on their status, they're quarantined. And that's people. Dog and cat come in and they're not being quarantined?
You see, let me say this. Now, if an animal is certified as not carrying any disease, right?
Careful, eh?
Yes.
I'm just saying you're careful.
Yeah.
All right, good.
If an animal is certified not having
Any disease, yeah.
it can get entry into the country, right? In some cases where you have quarantine facilities are only used for animals that we have question over. Because we take it that St. Vincent say everything is clear, we know what is the health status of St. Vincent, right? So there is no need. For example, it has what they call non-quarantine important issues. For example, if St. Vincent has, let's say, foot and mouth, I'm just using that as an example, and Grenada has foot and mouth, right? Foot and mouth disease with an animal coming from St. Vincent would not be of priority to us because they have the disease and we have the disease, right? So there is no chance of the disease. Yeah, this is how we look at it.
Yeah, that's how you look at it, but that's not, if it's not good, it's not good, it should not enter. I mean, I'm not asking you here to introduce policy, but I'm just saying from my perspective, if it's sick, it's sick. And also to go back to what you just said, if an animal is not sick, then there's no reason to put it in quarantine based on the report. No, look at this, my brother. People do PCR tests and it shows that they do not have corona. Yet still, they have to be quarantined. So I'm saying to you that your bosses, I'm not asking you to introduce policy and I'm not asking you to make a statement. I'm just saying that it has to change the way we look at things. I saw on television yesterday morning, lions and tigers receiving COVID-19 vaccines. Things are changing, which tells you that if these animals can contract it, then dogs and cats and whatever can contract COVID. And it may very well be that we already have a dog in Grenada that we ain't looking at dogs and we ain't looking at cats. But the situation, not that it was brought in, but what if a family that had COVID would have had a dog or a cat? If the lions and the tigers can contract COVID, there's nothing to say the cat itself, because that's their breed, the felines, correct? There's nothing to say that the cat did not contract COVID. Let us suppose that a cat contracts COVID in Grenada. You know what's happening there?
Yeah. So it boils down.
We need to change.
But it boils down to the nature of the disease. Because if you have a disease that is highly contagious, right?
COVID is.
Right. How you treat that disease to a disease that is non-contagious, right, is a different protocol. Agree?
Say that again.
If you have a disease that is highly contagious, right? So it is very potent. It can spread rapidly, quickly. How you treat with that disease, as opposed to treat with a disease that is not contagious, because you have diseases that are contagious and diseases that are not contagious, all right, then there is a different protocol, right? So then the point I'm making is how you treat with COVID. And I don't know, presently we don't have no scientific evidence that cats and dogs do contract, COVID-19, right? But I'm saying in terms of live animals, farm animals, sheep, goat, cattle that we want to bring into the country for human consumption, livestock production, right? It is not just about taking animals from anywhere and just bringing, right? There has to be a health certificate accompanying it, right? And that health certificate is what gives clearance to whether or not the animal should enter or it shouldn't enter.
Mr. Nugent, Bernard, I understand everything that you're saying, and I'm just saying that based on what you've said and based on what the government has in place, this has nothing to do with you, but based on the policy, we need to have policy change. I'm not giving you a message to bring back. I'm just saying to you, we need to have policy change because times are definitely changing.
Yes. Okay.
And I would want to believe that probably what we have in place is something from back in the 70s. That's what you don't have to comment. I'm not going to put you into any trouble but what I'm unhappy and happy to find out is that we do have a animal population problem in Grenada, and that's animals that we eat, i.e. sheep, goat, and cattle. We definitely have a downturn, and it is important for us to realize how are we going to do it. I have heard of government giving or working with farmers so as to increase the population of things like sheep and goat, and then which of course is no fault of government, quote unquote, then you hear the farmer eat it or some dogs eat it and everything just gone sack. We have to change even the policy in relation to dogs and the attack on small ruminants. And that is this is crazy, and we know it's existing, but have we done anything? Have we instituted laws to say, okay, fine, BJ has to tie his dogs, or he has to have them in an enclosed area so that they can protect his property and not destroy other people's property? Have we decided that, okay, fine, stray dogs, which is a dog without a collar, that's a stray dog. Stray dogs should be captured. Stray dogs should be put down. Have we done that? I don't think we've done that. Have we?
We have what we call the Stray Dog Act. As to whether or not we are really getting the desired effect from that, maybe there is some to be desired. But the dog predation issue with terms of livestock, especially sheep and goat, is something that is a teething problem. And again, I believe there has to be some kind of conversation for us to look at what the real issues are and how we handle that. Because I know there are some farmers, there are some dog owners who would let go their dogs in the night. And strange enough, a dog would leave from Guelph
and come to Victoria.
Lick up some small sheep or goat and go back. Right?
Yeah.
So then, if we know that this is a factor, or this is an issue, then persons who are animal owners, sheep and goat in particular, if you're getting involved in this, then of course, fencing, housing, those must be a priority of yours. It cannot be just tetting, just sticking a whole bundle of them and just go and tie them in the bush.
That is a practice that is a practice that has existed since King Hatchet was a hammer. And this is where the ministry comes in. And how the ministry now has to educate farmers that it is no longer in their best interest and in the interest of the nation to just tether, as you say, animals here, there, and everywhere. You need to invest in, because these animals are bringing you cash. They're bringing you cash at different periods. So you have to invest in having some sort of a barrication to protect them, right? The animals, and to protect your investment, the animals again. So I believe it falls back on the ministry and you guys know to say, okay, fine. We need to educate farmers. We probably need to, if you have 25 animals, you can say, okay, fine, 25, 30, that's the bottom line. If you have those animals, we are going to come in and we are going to assist you in building an enclosure for these animals. However, you are going to be on our record books and we are going to pass monthly, make it something that the extension officers, make it something that they do so they know that BJ has animals and he's supposed to have the animals in a closed enclosure that he was assisted with government funds or whatever funds to build. So he's supposed to have it. So you pass there and BJ does not have the animals in there. There can be some sort of a penalty. You can introduce all this into a whole policy. I believe that that's what has to be done.
Yeah, but while I do not want to dispute your point of view, I would prefer, in my opinion, if we have a collaborative effort between the ministry and the farmer. And I'm saying collaborative effort. I cannot see why the government should take up the responsibility of protecting my stock, right? If I decide to I agree that the government has to provide the enabling environment and whatever assistance they can give, whether it's through concession or making concessionary loans or whatever it is available. But if I decide to go into livestock production, I am investing to get something out of it. And that is another issue of contention that we have. You know, yesterday, I came from St. David's. I must have left St. David's minutes to 9 last night. We went to treat some goats for a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And in conversation with her, she's not selling, she's not lending, she's not giving away, and she's not eating.
So what's the other for?
Exactly. So the first question I ask people, what is the purpose you're getting into the production? Is it for milk? Is it for meat? Is it both? Right? So a lot of people are rearing animal as a hobby.
Okay.
But there is a cost. So how do you, except we're rich and we have a lot of money, then it will be as a hobby, right? But other than that, small ruminant is seen as what we call money in the bank, right? Money in the bank, poor man's wealth. So that you have 3 sheep or 10 goats, and you're in a jam boy, school coming up, and you need to get some school book or a pants or a skirt for your daughter. You could easily sell a goat or kill a goat because it's small, the meat is easily disposed of. People love goat meat, right? And then you get cash one time for you to deal with it. But when you have a situation where people are willing to rear animals, but they want the government to provide them every single thing to rear their animal, and it's for their benefit, I cannot accept that.
Well, I agree with you in that one because and government should be very firm on this. If you're going to do so and rear your animal because you want them to come in your veranda and sit down and for you to talk to them, spend your money. Spend your money and do what you got to do. But if you're going to be rearing the animals and it's going to be used to feed the nation, then by all means, government can assist. They don't have to give you everything, but they can and should assist you in terms of making it correct. We've got a line, somebody in line. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr.
Speak
Andrea.
up, Clifford. Speak up.
I say good morning.
Yeah.
I thought I said it loud enough. And good morning to Mr. Bernard, who I know very well. And I thought Mr. Bernard had given us a wealth of knowledge there this morning. I don't know how much of that wealth of knowledge have been really passed on or is going on to the farmers. And I will really hope
So are you saying that the farmers not listening? They're listening, you know.
Some might be listening.
Well, that's the objective. You're listening, you're a farmer. Go on.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I hope that a lot of it get onto the farmer directly, because it's a wealth of knowledge, and we can see that we are definitely shortchanged here. For instance, when you talk about the, when you was giving the statistics of the amount of animals we have in Grenada, I was surprised to know that we just have just over under 2,000 cattle, and that is not very good. I know of the Laura farm that they had down there. I remember when a partner of mine who went to farm school and he was managing there, Wilcox Alexander, better known as Steve, right? I don't know what he's doing now. But, I mean, it's time for these things and them to be totally upgraded. And I'm not speaking that to Mr. Bernard, but it's time that the authorities take some serious initiation and develop these things. We definitely are shortchanged. I mean, you saw...
Question, Clifford. Question. Let's get to the question.
I'm making some comments.
Well, Clifford, but you can't just go on and on making comments, because you know there may be other people. I'm not saying that they are the people.
Yes,
and you know the 2 minutes, right?
You
know the 2 minutes, right?
Right. I have a question directly. What I have is some comments on the situation. And I think that the officers should really be held on government to upgrade the standard. That is my...
Let me ask you a question, Clifford. You live in St. John. And if the government came to you and said, Clifford, we are going to invest in 10 acres in the Douglaston estate. We're going to invest, we're going to do up the documents so that you have access to 10 acres in the Douglaston estate. However, in those 10 acres, we would like you to start rearing animals. Will you be able to do so and say, yes, I can take that?
Anywhere that I can assist in anything for the development of Grenada, that is in my area, that is my capacity, I am willing to do it.
Technically, you have not answered the question.
Technically, I've answered the question.
No, you haven't.
I said
you just give me the politically correct answer. Are you willing to?
I'm not giving a political answer.
Are you willing to assist if given the opportunity to rear animals on a 10-acre plot? Are you willing to say, yes, I will do that?
I said that.
No, you didn't.
I said I am willing to assist in anything for the development.
That's all I'm asking.
Right?
Because I know. You see, here's what, we talk. Andre sits here and talking. That's all Andre does. You know, you're just talking blah, 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 blah.
I don't have the means of doing it. I don't have the means. I have the means of done. But I would have the means.
Okay, you never know.
Come to me. I'm prepared to assist.
You never know, Clifford. What you've just said may just be what the government is looking for. You never know. You might get a call from the Minister of Agriculture and say, Clifford, I'm willing to take you up on that thing you said with Andre Donald. Have a nice morning, my friend.
I hope that we will not be in Marquis. And not hope.
Have a nice day, Clifford.
Same to you.
Good. Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. 20 minutes now before the 9 o'clock hour. Yeah, BJ's here, but he's just, leaving Andre.
Just about to tell you people good morning. Just pass into church some ripe bananas for you and say good morning. We have a land use meeting.
Where?
Committee meeting in St. George's this morning.
Okay.
And I have to be there for tennis, so I have to leave now.
I also saw that there's...
Look at Diamond Estate, cut it up and whatnot. And Grand Baculet is already cut up to look into distribute the lands now to different farmers.
Where's Diamond Estate?
In Victoria.
That's not Boca. Boca's and Diamond is two different things.
Yes.
The river separates them. Oh, okay.
So I'm on my way just past to say good morning and see my boss here. The program is really nice. I have people from all where Miami is now calling me on the phone, not Miami, Florida, and saying they are listening.
Okay, good.
And enjoying the program.
Take care of yourself, man.
God bless you.
Okay, good.
Catch on.
One love.
Yeah, good.
So it just seems so much that has to be done. When you sit and you talk, there's so much that has to be done. But as you said, something that's very important is that you believe that the Minister of Agriculture, you believe that he has the vibes, you believe that he has that general push, that motivation and the motivation he has can help motivate farmers to do what has to be done. Is that what's coming from you,
Yes,
Nugent?
definitely. But part of my concerns, we have to be in a situation where listen. I told the minister that the last time. Now the minister, by nature, his number one objective, apart from the development of agriculture, he's a politician.
Well, of course.
All right.
Yeah.
So everything the minister looks at, I can say that with almost all certainty, that he looks at it with a political eye. Because what he does as Minister of Agriculture would really speak to who he is and what he is doing in terms of agricultural development for the country. But the minister is not a technician. Okay? So the minister depends on persons who are technically inclined to advise him correctly so that he, being the politician and the policy maker, can put in place the correct policies. All right? And my concern is that if it is that the minister is not advised correctly, then obviously the policies are moving forward would, in my opinion, be compromised. Right? And that is my concern. That is my concern as to whether or not, as somebody standing outside, and I'm using the word outside of the decision-making process, right? Given my level of, training and expertise in livestock production, right? I honestly don't believe in my gut that many times the ministers, and not just Minister David, but I've been in the ministry almost 30 years now.
That's a long time.
Right? And
so not just this Minister of Agriculture, but all, more than likely, maybe all who preceded him.
And many times I have issues with the sort of advice
that he gets or she gets.
That is given to the ministers relative to real sound policy decision moving forward for the development. That's my serious concern.
Aren't you scared you get into trouble for making a statement like that?
No.
Or you probably say, I close to retirement, they can do what they want?
No. Andre, I would tell you, and I think everybody in the ministry knows that. I try to, while I would guard what I say, I try to be as real as I can be. And as somebody who has been trained in livestock production, because I know how things are being seen from a technical perspective is different to how it is seen from an administrative perspective and also from a political, perspective. It is my responsibility as a Grenadian and as a paid civil servant, if I'm called upon to give the correct technical advice so that the decisions making forward, right, will reflect my expertise and what I am called to do. And that is why there are times if I'm in a situation where I know what I'm saying is technically sound because it can be proven, and you decide that you want to go on next route, I do something that is not very happy. I will take a disclaimer. Okay, you're in charge, go ahead, do what you're supposed to do. But it's important that I give you the proper advice so that you can make the best decision. I will not give you advice just to say yes or to find it nice. In fact, I remember in a conversation, I heard somebody say, look, if you were to tell me what it is I always want to hear, and then leading me down a slippery slope, then you're not helping me. All right? So it is my responsibility to advise as soon as based on my technical knowledge.
When you look at what has been done over the past 30 years, as you claim that there are areas that you feel disappointed that certain things weren't done. Given the opportunity now to do 3 things, not in any order of priority, what would those 3 things be?
First of all, the forming a national, I believe there is need for us to form a national society of what they call agricultural society, and that is a committee that can really sit down with the stakeholders from every walk of life, from the bank, from the supermarkets, from the hotel, from the ministry, and sit down and look at the entire agricultural industry. But the way I would want us to do that, for us to do that, is to do a SWOT analysis. Let us do a SWOT analysis of the agriculture industry, crop as well as livestock. This SWOT analysis will tell us what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats, right? Most times, the threats are external. And it brings me to the second thing that I would like to see happen in the immediate. The development, the serious development of our non-ruminant production subsector. And that takes in both production of pigs and poultry, all right? And especially poultry. The poultry industry, and I must say this, the poultry industry is, if not the fastest growing industry in the world, all right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is also what is considered as the most integrated industry, meaning you have sometimes a single producer who controls all factors of production, from production right on to sorting and marketing, right? So much so, it has been so successful that experts are looking at the poultry industry as the model to develop for the small ruminant industry and to some extent the large ruminant industry, because it has been successful. What we have in Grenada is a very fragmented poultry industry. It is not integrated. Everybody is doing their bits all over the place, right? And it is costing us millions of dollars every year to bring in poultry meat, when we can sit down and organize this industry in a meaningful way so that it can bring more benefit to our local people. 90% of our poultry is being imported into this country. It means that we have opportunity in the SWOT analysis. We have opportunity for us to increase local poultry production, right? But there again, I believe that government needs to take some initiative. And I am advocating that because the poultry coming in to Grenada is a threat to our local industry, this has to be addressed, because it is a production constraint, right? You're bringing in poultry from Brazil or from Belize lately, US, 86 to 96 cents per pound US. And it costing us here, well, we really don't know what is the cost of production for poultry meat here. Again, that's the next problem. But on average, somebody would rear poultry here, given the high cost of feed and everything, and sell a pound of poultry, a pound of broiler meat for anything between $5.50, $6, some people as much as $7. When you compare, you could go in the shop and buy a pound of back and neck for $2, or you could buy a pound of chicken wings or leg and thigh for $3.95, maybe $4. Well, recently chicken has been gone up, right? But the point I'm making is that it gives parents, especially single parents with a number of children, more spending power to buy the chicken in the shop than they would want to eat a wholesome locally produced chicken. We're talking about $7 a pound. $7, you could get almost how much pounds are back looking at?
About three.
Exactly. So when people work the math, so I believe the way forward, and I saw Trinidad doing it. What the Trinidad government has done was to increase the tariff for imported chicken, right? While at the same time they sought to boost local production. So that if you make the price of the local produced chicken comparative to the imported chicken, people definitely has the inclination to buy local because it's healthier, right? They would buy it. They would buy it. But as long as we remain in this situation where we have to import our day-old chickens, we have to import so much of chicken, then we are not providing the best environment for us to develop our local poultry industry. And the way to go is for us to do the integrated system, right? And that is where you have a few major players in the game, but you have people on contractual arrangement, right? So that if, let's say, for example, Excellent Farm and Hobie and the rest of people who doing poultry now in a kind of big way, they are not going to leave out, the ordinary person who will do the 100 and the 50. If this is done in an integrated approach, all these people will be considered in the pool. So when they produce, for these people, you just give them the feed, give them the chickens. When it is ready, you just come and pick it up. But that has to be a conversation. But how we going right now, with everybody just like doing their own thing, it is not the best thing for the industry.
Here's a big question for you. You have something?
No,
Go ahead.
you give the third one?
Yeah, I think you gave 3. Didn't you give 3?
Okay, so that
Two?
was 2.
Two. Oh.
Right. So, and the last one, I would advocate policy.
Policy.
This would be the first for me,
Mhm.
because once you have correct and strong policy in place, that would be the driving force for how we move forward in terms of development.
All right. Livestock. Can a farmer who has the space plant, for instance, let's say corn, which is what pigs and chickens use, right? If a farmer has the space and decided, look, I want to do so and produce my own feed because I have the space, I can plant corn and have enough corn to feed based on the amount of animals I have. Can a farmer do that? And would he be advised to get in contact with you or the ministry so that they can tell him what are the different additives that he needs to use so as to get proper production from his animals?
Right. Yes, he can, but we have to take it from two points of view. One, we have what we call the conventional approach to livestock production, and that is where the last word you use, additives. That's where we focus on the use of green, antibiotic, hormone enhancers, right, and additives. That is in the convention, because you're giving the additives and the antibiotics and something for you to really heighten the rate of production, right? But one would appreciate that this level of production is normally conducted in a highly intensive system, all right, where the genetic of the animal is of real good quality, so that when the animal eats, the feed conversion, whether it's for poultry or for anything, right, matches. Okay, so what they eat, the feed conversion ratio based on the genetical materials is so high, you actually get a benefit from it. Now the problem we have, because we have very poor genetic in Grenada, right? I cannot really put up what I don't have.
Okay.
Right? So what we need to do is to match our natural resources with the local animals that we have. And that is where, when I talked earlier on about the comparative advantage, right? All around us, Mr. Donald, we have grass. Grass. And we have enough forages for us to feed, especially our ruminants. All right? And we must appreciate how you feed ruminants as against, and that is sheep and goat, as against how you feed pig and poultry. It's two different ballgames altogether.
Yeah, but can we do additives?
If it's natural additives, then I would
So, but what is, for instance, Caribbean Agro is our only source of feed in this country, unless we import, and that's another hullabaloo again. And what do they put in? They must be putting something in the food.
Yes.
So, can a farmer, me, Andre decides, okay, fine, I'm doing agriculture. Can I grow enough corn, have the mill to do the corn, break the corn up so that it's easier digestible for the chickens? And can I add whatever they're adding? Can I purchase that and add it to the feed?
Yes, you can. But you see again, when we talk about use of feed additives, antibiotics and stuff, it is really in the realm of conventional production. And remember, we are dealing with a situation, and that's a very touchy one, because we are dealing with a situation where people are much more health conscious. All right? So people are moving away from the use of additives and antibiotics and enhancers in production, because it is believed that most of these things they are linked to some form of cancer-causing agent. So people are moving away from that. What I can tell you is this. We can make better use of our locally grown forages. Corn, for example. The reason why Caribbean Agro would use corn, being the grain, in the feed formulation is that corn has has an ingredient called lysine, right? That is one of the amino acids, lysine, right? And lysine is very important for the development of the animal. So they use the corn, besides corn is a source of energy, carbohydrates, right? So they use that in the feed. Now, we may not be able, in a general sense, to produce as much corn, except the individual farmer who has it, right? But I'm talking in that general sense. We have the capacity for us to grow cassava. Cassava can be grown on any marginal land, right? The yield per plant of cassava is greater than the yield per head of per plant of corn. All right. In addition to this, cassava has almost every single ingredient, including lysine, in it. So cassava can be the perfect substitute for the growing of grain, corn, as a feed substitute, right? And yet for all, we don't do it, right? But I'm saying to you, any farmer can grow what he wants on his farm once he has the land space. And in that case, he would need what we would advise on. He would need what we call a shredder, a chopper, so he can chop it to a particular thing. You would have to do a little bit of preserving to remove a bit of moisture. And of course, you would need a pelletizing machine. There are some nice portable ones that you can buy and pelletize the field, similar to what Caribbean Agro is doing. But there is a caution. There is a caution. And the caution is, you cannot feed sheep and goat the same way you would feed pigs and poultry. Simply because pigs and poultry are single stomach animals as we are humans. Okay. So our system and the pig and the poultry and the broiler or the layer system can easily assimilate and utilize the concentrate feed because they are single stomach. That's what they are designed to do. However, you cannot feed sheep and goat concentrate feed the same way you would feed the pigs or you would feed the poultry, simply because the stomach is different. The ruminant has a 4-compartment stomach, and what the stomach really is designed to do is to eat grass, right? So the whole biology, the physiology, the microflora, everything in that stomach is designed for that. So if you give a goat too much of concentrate, right, what you find is that you can develop bloat that can lead to the actual death of the animal. Secondly, it also creates a condition where, if prolonged, that animal will not be able to assimilate that food that it is eating. For the simple reason, within the goat stomach, the digestive system, I don't know if when you kill a goat, you know when you take out what we call the tripe, you'll see something that look like towel-like.
Yeah, the butter.
Like butter.
Yeah.
So these are actually called pillars, and they are there for a particular purpose. They are there to grind and to masticate that food
Okay.
in the kind of time that it needs so that it can go on to be digested. Now, what the artificial or the constant feed does, because this thing operates like that, so keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, right? If you feed too much of concentrate for too prolonged time, the concentrate would actually wear out that toy-like structure in the stomach. And when it does that, the animal will no longer be able to utilize grass as they are supposed to. So what I'm saying to you is that farmers can only use concentrate feed as a supplement feed when it comes for sheep and goat and cattle.
Okay.
So like, but your basal diet, the main diet is grass. So you feed grass all day, and in the evening time, you say, well, in relaxed time, you throw just a little half pound based on the physiological stage, because you feed based on it. So if it's pregnant, you may give it a little tap up because it has to take care of itself and the young. If it's not pregnant, then what you give it is different. If it's into production, like giving milk, what you give is different. So the whole thing about feeding is an education in itself. And as Mr. Clifford was saying, he hoped farmers are getting that information. But the point about the sad thing about it is, most time when we organize training programs, few farmers turn up.
Here is someone, a Grenadian, living in Canada. And here's what he says, which is rather interesting. Why are we not gathering and using the grass from the debushing instead of throwing it away? At $1 a bag, the money is collected can offset the parish, the cost.
That is interesting.
Very interesting.
But there is a caution in that, yeah? Because when I was working together with the consultant from Tanzania, we actually at times used to go and collect grass in the bush to feed the goats at Lara.
Oh, the same goat? Okay. Don't bother with me. Don't worry with me. Don't worry with me.
But
Yes.
The problem is we have to be careful about contamination. You see, because on the side of the road, all the fumes and things from vehicles, right, can be a source of contamination.
And some people can throw things that you don't even know.
If you use it, that the caution may be there must be some system where you can thoroughly wash out that that forage to satisfaction that is okay to feed to the animal, because contamination can lead to a hospital problem even there.
Finally, we've gone over the time, but finally, in a minute, this is the most valuable minute to the Grenadian farmer. Talk to them. The livestock farmer. This is the most valuable minute to them. Talk to them.
I would like to tell livestock farmers in Grenada, stop doing livestock as a hobby and do livestock as a business. And before you invest your monies into building pens and whatnot, please contact us first, who are the experts, so that we can advise you correctly as to spend your money in the most profitable manner. If we do this and we come together, Grenada can move forward and come to the
Mr. Shaper, Brother George, will be definitely proud of you this morning, Nugent. You did a remarkable job. It's someone from like the Canadians like you. Here's someone from Canada saying, he's making a great point when he talks about additives. And they also says, whoa, he's very knowledgeable. They need more like him for progress to be made. So that means you didn't make an impact on the people living in Grenada. The Canadians seem to have you going.
But you always get appreciated by people on the outside anyway.
Nugent, I'd love to have you again. Maybe in the next month or so, we'll do our best to have another sit down, another discussion, and take it to a different level here as we continue. And hey, here's what. BJ came in this morning, and this is not for you to come. And BJ came in this morning and had to leave for some consultation. This is a farmers program. This program deals with agriculture 24/7. This is what we about here on this program on Thursdays. We need to get more information from you guys, Nugent. Mina sends a lot. Yes, she does. I agree, she sends a lot. But there are some little bits and pieces that you guys need to slip it to Mina and say, Mina, get this to Real FM so that they can put it out for us.
I'm available at any time, as I said. Once you get confirmation from my bosses.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll have confirmation. And let me thank them for allowing you to come this morning. It was really, really a joy having you. I enjoyed myself tremendously. Yeah, man. One love, yeah? Take care of yourself. JD, you good? you were like information. Yeah, I know you listened. You got it.
One of the things that in his 3 points was the national society.
Yes.
That's, I think it's in. I think I've in Barbados. I like to see that happen here. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then one of the questions, but I guess it was too late now to ask when he says about the policy makers in the ministry. Do they really make advise the minister
properly
from the true heart and not politically?
Have a good morning, JD.
Like planting this and that go out, yeah?
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll take care. We will. Yeah,
all
take
right,
care.
So good.
This is real. This is 91.9. Friends, goodbye. God bless you. Take care. Catch you again another time right here on Real FM Radio.
You know the old thing flap wide. Everybody want to sit down in computer. And they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first.